I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day? You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? You didn't know that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met at secondary. Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a question right? I suppose it's funny for you. You won't remember. Anyway, I think I'll probably head home. This isn't helping. I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? I suppose you did remember that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Yeah, at secondary school. It's been fun, but I've got a pill. Dr. Dekker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day. It's got a small skull and crossbones on it. Should I take the tablet, Doctor? Okay. Okay. See you on the flip side. Mom? I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day. You won't remember it. What's the name of your assistant again? Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Yeah, great. Is there anything you can say that's going to break this loop for me? I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days? Something somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory. It's a thing. Some professor believes we could be living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc. I'm starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor. Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night.
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda,
I black out,
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Ooh. Deja vu.
Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away. Well, come find me if you need anything.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes. I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor? If you like summer, it's supposed to be flexible and carefree. You do care, don't you, Doctor? Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me, if that's even a thing. Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor? I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best? Photographs it is then. I'll let you know how it goes. I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. But it does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said they'd uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day. It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation. We walk alone without our angel. I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone. Been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else? Okay, fine. I'll try. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for though. Just sign up to Tinder and start swiping. Maybe it's just company I'm missing. Although I don't really want any. She was interested. Maybe I misread. Maybe she was just being kind. I suppose most women wouldn't enjoy me talking about my dead ex for hours. She's dead. Thanks for bringing that up. I like winter. Being snowed in with Hannah. Just the two of us. That's paradise. It's a sea creature, like an octopus. I suppose they find dinosaur bones everywhere. Just because we're on land now doesn't mean millions of years ago this place wasn't at the bottom of the ocean.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts, new doctor, and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker. We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be. Shh. I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile. I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair and then I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients actually. The nurse. She was on the pier with someone. Pretty much all of the night too, so I can vouch for her even though she probably didn't see me. Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. Makes me feel dull by comparison. I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Dekker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink. I guess it was a couple of days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just didn't seem right. I wanted to find out what was wrong. Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them. I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. I've kind of missed it. You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts. Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now? Some girls say that they're washing their hair when they don't want to go out, but I was genuinely washing my hair. Do you think my hair is pretty, Doctor? I'm insecure, Doctor. Isn't it obvious? It's such a mess. But thank you. I've danced around in my living room, but no clubs since last time. I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less. People are quick to put labels on everything. I suppose Dr. Dekker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other. I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor? Well, you have my number, Doctor, and my address. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together, if you want to.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus, Hilda's getting worse. This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died. I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really. Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket? Me? I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand. Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late. Help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way. Hilda wants to see her daughter. She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent. I can change my skin. What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and I become them. It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them. I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone. Yes, I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, I still can't get over it. Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to. It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know. Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier. Held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab and I went home, alone. I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to, if you think I need an alibi. Dr. Dekker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good mood. It didn't seem like anything was bothering him. I can sense it, you know? It's like when you're outside and there's a sudden change in the light or the air feels different and you know it's going to rain. It's like that. I always know when one of my patients is fading, even before the doctors know. Their energy changes. It sounds silly when I put it into words. I sound like my mum. His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. He's not really my type. I've known Max a couple of years, but this is the first time we've been on a date. I don't think he's boyfriend material. Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing. One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK. Healthcare serial killer. You know, like those nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and some of those patients have given me gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house, otherwise I would have died too. I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor? Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor? Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there. David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice. The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him. Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he. Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do. He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes, I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens. Love? Yes. I suppose I always will. It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan anyway. I had to toughen up quickly. Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces. I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine. I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water. I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour. When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground? That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that. I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture. Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything. I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is? No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor? If you're buried, people can bring you back. You don't want to see people when they've come back. I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway. They had a display with the theme Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done. Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me. Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor? I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault. Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed. He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it. Yes, I would steal too, and I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things. Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you. That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there. Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker? Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you? Ouch. I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now. When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting, they watch me. Normally disapprovingly. Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art, because I'm too young. Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me. When I want them to normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop. We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce. I'd never really spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic. I couldn't get rid of him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours. I've been working on portraits, at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray. There's not much to tell. I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here. I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me. That I'm ugly, that I have no talent, nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor? I hear it so many times from that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you. He was shy, and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though. My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her. Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra. No, why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance. I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them. The temazepam? The sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time. Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this? Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then? Where to start?
My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch. It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes, poor Agnes. She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth. It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing. I don't know, I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes. Saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either. It was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life? Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they? What? That can't be possible. Is that true? Why don't I know about it then? When was this then? Is she alive? Her useless husband is? Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that's stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... No. He's a weaselly little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless... Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't
think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor? Thank you, Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Dekker called me the leech lady? He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck 'em right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway? Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
You. Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me, go on, I'll tell you what I think. We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? I think we should get a solicitor. I know the perfect firm. I'll do it all, don't worry about it. And that's why we've got insurance for these kinds of things anyway. But the cheek of it. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters, he was sure there was a pattern in them. Ariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like. I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him. Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here. Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye. I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that? On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse Elin at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange. So you watched the tapes, huh? Gold star for you. It smashed. She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25. Most of the patients are suspects according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them.